because proper eyes were matchsticks, as my old man used to say to me. Anyway, one night he played Bruce Springsteen on the streets of Philadelphia. I thought, this is quite good. And I thought, on the streets of Philadelphia. I started to think I'll do something about Newport, on the streets of Newport, you know, so. This is, well, it's got an actual take on this, so I know when I did it. So, and anyway, I wrote the poem. So then was Bob Harris, Whispering Bob, was always saying, oh, send me these emails, send me these things, and your request, this, that, and the other, what you'd like to say. So, gullible, naive as I am, I send off this poem to Bob, Whispering Bob. And of course, never heard of anything again, you know. But I'm not bitter. I'm just very bitter. And but Bob's show stopped now anyway, so, but I did get this out of it. So this is called, I should put on here with apologies to Bruce Springsteen really, but I didn't. But anyway, it's called On the Streets of Newport, Gwent, South Wales. I had to put all that in because it fitted in with the line on the streets of Philadelphia, you know, the syllables and so on. On the streets of Newport, Gwent, South Wales, April 2014. One Saturday night and Sunday morning, don't think I've ever read this in public before either. This is the first. First for me and the first for you, so I hope you all record this and put it on YouTube for me later on. Fame at last. One Saturday night and Sunday morning, I was listening to the Bob Harris show on Radio 2 when Whispering Bob suddenly started playing On the Streets of Philadelphia by Bruce Springsteen, which got me to thinking, what if Bruce had written On the Streets of Newport instead? He'd have arrived incognito, of course. Dark glasses essential. Maybe one of those big Stetson hats and a stretched limo to get around him. He wouldn't want to be recognised and block the traffic now, would he? Not to mention all those adoring groupies shouting out, one Bruce Springsteen, there's only one Bruce Springsteen. Well, Bruce, being a pretty observant type of guy, would soon notice that the streets of Newport are paved with patrolling pigeons and sometimes strewn with litter. They throng with travel agents and estate agents, pawnbrokers, nail bars and hairdressers. All this Bruce sees, sitting stoically in Starbucks, clocking their mothers, pushing their prams past the biggest sellers, and the people shouting at each other from open car windows. He checks out the abandoned empty shops, the closed hotels and failed public houses. I can see why Bob didn't want it. But it's further on his radio show. I'll come to think of it. Never mind. He checks out the abandoned empty shops, etc., while simultaneously thinking to himself, why am I here? Which is a question I often ask myself actually, on various occasions. Whilst, why am I here listening to these buskers mangling and mauling my songs, laying waste to Born to Run, and slashing and burning Born in the USA, and no waitress in sight when I could be in London, England, living in the high life, tasting La Dolce Vita. Oh well, he thinks, sinks his coffee and eyes up strange statues, saying hi to the pensioners sitting on benches smoking. All right, Bruce, they say, how's it going? But Bruce only has eyes for a girl with blue hair as he takes evasive action to avoid the cyclist riding bikes, which is strictly illegal and merits a £30 fine. But there are never any coppers around to enforce it. So Bruce tramps the streets of Newport, sometimes finding time to stand and stare, and somehow resisting the urge to throttle the nearest busker. He looks up at the first floor facades of the buildings surrounding him, which are mainly Victorian and a joy to contemplate, apart from a few glaring, ugly modern-day exceptions, and gazes at the charity shops, cheap shops, pound-a-time shops, boiler-up shops, bedding shops, and coffee shops lining the streets of Newport. Later, dancing in the dark with a green-haired girl, because the night belongs to lovers. In his head he is singing, not Philadelphia was never like this, or I'd rather be in Philadelphia, or even Philadelphia Freedom. None of these are going round and round in his head. Only the words and music of a new song slowly beginning to form, the faint outlines of a song that no one will ever hear him sing, a song he will later call On the Streets of Newport. Thank you very much.